Hello guys. I don't know how well this is going to record. We have a real bad storm going on now. This is my video for June journals. Just finished it, junk journals. I didn't quite get done everything I wanted to this month, but I got quite a bit and I'm sort of proud of myself that I got. First thing I was going to show is, because my pictures don't do it justice, this is my trifold wallets, but what I did was sort of took, and there's 3 of them in there, using the envelopes, the trifold envelopes, and so I sort of made like a little mini album using those. Our 12 by 12 page album that we did, using a 12 by 12 page little mini album. Then my list journals. This is the one that I did for the mini challenge. Just sort of wrapped it with a ribbon. Christmas themed, of course, because it also is one of the things that we would do. There's a little pocket there using a Dooley's New Digital, but this was my list journal that I did. Used some kids' books. Little things, more places to write, not going through everything, not worth all that, but so we've got it there, and I sort of like wanted a little flap that went around, and there we go. It'll sort of hold together that I could put in a journal. The other list journals are very simple, but I like to reuse children's books, so I've got 5 here that I got bound and finished. They have different ones, but I use different children's books. I've got other ones around here. Apparently I misplaced them that I finished. There's more than this that I finished, but just simple things. Notepads, plain paper. I like to use a lot of the children's books images. That's one of my favorite things to use, but there's room to write even on the sides, ledgers, even the copy thing, which all of our printers do, that's useless. I think those are pretty cool lines and things to write on, but that's what that is using. This one happened to actually come from one children's book, Lyle at the Office, by the way, but I've got about 3 other ones that I had finished that I thought were here but aren't. But just list journals that are a little bit different sized, so that I can use. And I'm thinking about actually using them with school, getting ready to start, and using them at school to keep, because I have to keep a lot of data and a lot of notes on my lessons. And I thought, oh, this will be a cute thing to use. One of the journals that I completed, I had the altered book that I had done some time ago, but I hadn't done anything with it, literally, other than glued some of the pages and made some pockets and whatnot. So for using it to finish up, it's Live Your Story, but it was a book that I was doing on diversity. It's an altered paper clip with some dangles there. And what I did was, when I completed journals this month, I went back, because I haven't been with Julie for a long time. So what I did, I went back, little notebook, and looked up all of her past journals that she's done. And I am sorry about the shadow. I just realized that this is shooting the shadow this way, but it's sort of the way I had to do it. I'm just going to let it go. It's no big deal. But this was actually following the guidelines of her June challenge from 2019. So and that's sort of what I did on the journals that I did. Finished up journals, but I've always wanted to go back and do all of them. I use a lot of images from magazines. This is basically, everything in here is junk and trash that I have created all this with. But just to give you an idea. I know it's hard to see everything, but that's okay. That's even one of the children's books I made, one of my list journals. These images came from that, one that had been thrown away. But I wanted to focus on diversity. This one, you know, he's praying. All the different pictures of nationalities and different things going on with everything that's going on in this world. This was a children's book from the 30s, and it was just some old rhymes that are not right, and sort of making my own notes going through. And there's rooms to write and different things, but basically it's just celebrating who we are. Everybody is important. All of our heritage is important, and all of our beliefs, we need to be respectful of them and go from there. But that's basically what this journal is going to be. And Live Your Story is basically live your story, and that's what it's going to build on in writing my thoughts and others' thoughts. This is another one I did. I've been into doing prayer journals. This is actually a prayer journal, and what I had used, it was sort of music themed, and I've used some of the things. Song of Joy, Hope, and Freedom, and Peace. It's a book I found at Dollar Tree. It was called Gracious, and I like the gracious. That's part of it. So I sort of just kept the title, and it was talking about some strength and being gracious. But this is literally a prayer journal, prayer doodles, and a lot of pockets, places to put things and write, but to keep your prayers and different things. And like I said, a lot of them were music themed. But that is one of my prayer journals. This is probably the very first altered book I really ever tried. That's how long I've had this book sitting around. So you can see some of the roughness. So I just sort of used some tea and coffee stain and papers I've stained with other things in here. Just sort of kept it rough. Since the book was rough itself, the way I altered it. Since I've sort of learned what I need to do. This is another music themed journal, and this one actually is Christmas, but it is not really a December daily, but a Bible journal, a faith-based journal to write in that has to do with readings from the Christmas story. And this is an old planner. I was able to get a lot of planners, nice expensive planners from someone who dumpster dives. I ordered a case from them. Basically, I paid shipping, and I got about 35. This is one of the smaller ones that I got, and so I'm altering old planners as journals. And this one, of course, is Christmas themed. Had a little music, but that's what I was talking about, the faith-based. It's a reading day, and so what it is providing places to write. Each day you're giving a scripture to read, and there's tucks, there's belly bands, there's your prayer tracker that you can write prayer requests in, and that's the other one. So this is Christmas themed. It all has to do from the Gospels and the Christmas story. That's an envelope to put some stuff in. We've got paper clips, everything that we would put in a journal. You know, I've still got those pieces and everything in here, and used a lot of imaging from junk, and I did have some free Christmas digitals that I found and looked for. I try to keep up with that and have as many free items as I can get. When I journal, that's what I do. Like I said, this is another journal I completed, and I used one of Julie's old challenges. This challenge happened to be from September 2020 that I did, and that's what I went by. This is some of my, I guess you call them painty papers. I don't know. I was experimenting with different dyes and whatnot. There's pockets in this particular, like I said, I love altered books. In this particular one, every single one is going to have a pocket. Either it's going to be at the top or it's going to be at the side. So every page has a place. And what I like this to do, it will end up being a faith-based, to do Bible studies in, or prayers or whatever. But that's what I like to do, is use altered books for that purpose because I like to have a lot of tucks and places to put my writing and studies and whatnot. I do have additional journals. I have about 3 other journals that I did make this month, but they've already gone on. They were 2 were faith-based, and I've already passed those on. They went on given to somebody, and another one was just more of a picture using all junk and magazines and a place for writing, just little for your thoughts. But those have already went on to new homes, so therefore I don't have those to show. But there are pictures in my album of the covers. But that was from September 2020. I used that challenge to do that one. This is the one I really wanted to spend time on, I guess. This was, I went to a virtual Bible retreat. And this was the journal that I created. And the particular online group that I'm with of ladies, they are into Bible journaling. But I don't Bible journal in a Bible. I like to put it on that. It is Well With My Soul Church Facebook group. But this was the retreat that I had gone to. And so this is the journal that I created. And it was lemons was a thing. So I found different lemon things that out there that I could use and around. Refreshment of the soul. And I was sort of proud of that. So this was this journal that I completed this month. This is what I really spent most of my time on. Being gone. Just pages so I can have extra. Of course, this, any faith-based journal is never completed. When you do, you just sort of start and you write. And you create. And you have extra space. Like I said, excuse the storm. There might be some things going on. But this is sort of... This is the one probably I liked the most this month. Just because it was that and studies that I went through. So I guess all in all, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 17 journals that I completed. I would say 4 to 6 would be in depth, with a lot of things in them, and the rest of them was more kept simple, which I like to prefer. I like to be able to have my stuff. That's extra things to add. I like to add stuff as you go. I like to keep them simple and do things there. But there you go. There's my journals for this month to complete the July Just Finish It Dear Julie Challenge.